Hi guys, welcome back to Tactical Edge. This is Riley and this is part 2 of 3 of what I would and wouldn't recommend in gearbox housings. So the last video we looked at the plastic housing and today this video we're looking at nylon. So let's just open it and we can talk about what I would and wouldn't recommend and why. So let's get into it. Okay, so it's pretty much the same as a plastic housing one, just that the housing is nylon itself. Now the nylon housing is a lot tougher and a lot stronger. It won't cause cracking or any problems like that, but you can put the wrong parts in it that can cause quite a significant amount of damage to it. But let's get into that and I can talk about why. So the first thing that I see people put in or do or upgrade that I definitely wouldn't recommend. And first off, straight away that comes to my mind is a metal cylinder head. I wouldn't put a metal cylinder head in there because sometimes, I'll just show you, when you have the metal cylinder head in there, this is probably going to be really hard for you guys to see. I'll try and see if I can see on the GoPro. I don't know if you guys can see that really well, but see how loose the metal cylinder head is in the housing, and it moves and it rotates and it doesn't really fit in properly or fit in very snug. Yeah, you can see like that. See how it does that? Yeah, that causes quite a lot of problems. So the first thing that happens is that little pin that holds in the cylinder head itself, that I've seen it get spit out from the other side. It doesn't like it, all that rotating and moving. It's not good, so it doesn't fit it. I wouldn't, I definitely wouldn't put a metal one in there. Same as last time, metal tapper plate, no, I wouldn't do that. The cylinder head I would recommend would be a POM cylinder head. So these ones are nylon, very safe, very good. I, myself and the other techs, we all agree and all love the POM cylinder head and piston head. I would show you piston head, but I'm out of stock of it, but because so many people buy them. But they are really good together. They marry up really well. The compression's really good. It's also really good for if you have a big spring, and I can get into that in a sec, because a lot of people go, oh, metal, yes, metal everything is way better. So they'll get a metal cylinder head, metal piston head, metal gears, everything metal, and you gotta think like this piston has to get this massive spring and pull it all the way back, compress this massive spring with a metal piston head and then a metal cylinder head, and then that's just going as fast as it can and just smash into it, and all that smashing is just destroying the pins, destroying the housing, because that's moving like this. Having this big O-ring and that big O-ring there isn't doing any favors as well. It's causing a lot of problems to it, especially that nipple piston head that fits in that hole. They're bad as well. You're probably gonna say, well, why do they sell it? Why do they sell metal stuff or metal piston heads and cylinder heads if it doesn't work or go into anything? I can get in that to a sec. You can use it, yes, but it depends how and in what you're using it in. So having a POM cylinder head is fine, yes, because when I put that in there, I don't know if you guys can see, but that fits in there quite nice. Some front movement, but no side to side, but it fits in there a lot better than what the metal one does. So you can have that in there, and I would either have an SHS piston or this black nylon piston. They're very good as well, and have a POM piston head, or even better, Lernix stuff. I can't recommend it and highly recommend it even as much as I can. It is the best. It is so good. Like you can have Lennox gears, Lennox piston head, you name it. And you can also have Lennox piston head metal and palm. They're both great, and both of them are great. Not one that is better than the other. They're both fantastic. It depends what you want to use it in. So if I have a palm cylinder head and a metal piston head without this, O-ring, that's fine, because the nylon cylinder head is absorbing all that force and torque, so it is doing less damage really to the gearbox because it's absorbing all that shock and movement. It's absorbing it all and is being less impactful. Where if this was all metal, it's just going to be really loud and just bang, bang, bang. Where this is just a lot more easier and gentler, which is a lot better. So you can have a metal piston head if you have a palm or a nylon cylinder head. If you want to have stock, yes you can, but it won't be as good as compression as what this could be. You can have Lennox, palm, piston head, gears. You can have 18:1, you can have SHS, Kublai, bigger CNC gears, or you can have amazing Lennox gears, which are also, I know they're $90, I know, but the quality of them is amazing. They don't strip, they don't break. They're really, really good. I highly recommend them. You can have 18:1s. So 16:1s is probably the lowest I'd go in a nylon and metal housing. I wouldn't even put metal gears in plastic, as I said in the last one, but 16:1s is the lowest I'd go because it's quick. If you put 11 volt onto it and you've done, right parts to it, it's even quicker and it's good. Like, it's a good fire rate. It still feeds well. The FPS is still well. It can, the nozzle can close and seal properly at the right time and do the right FPS. It's fine. Where if you go 13:1s, I was telling the customers before, if you go 13:1s, it causes sometimes feeding issues, or that with the T-piece and the nozzle, because that nozzle is coming back so quick that when it's coming back and a gel ball goes in and then the nozzle's coming forward to then seal and close, because it's going so quick on 13:1s, it can't come back and seal all the way properly around the T-piece, which is in that groove bit, to then shoot the gel ball. So then it has FPS problems where, it could be doing 380, but it really does, 290, because it's going so fast, it can't seal around the T-piece and the nozzle properly to make the right compression to shoot. So that is another problem. If you really don't care about it and you just want fast, then yeah, go nuts. But if you want good FPS but fast, stick to 16:1s. They'll be fine in nylon, Gen 8 and Gen 9, J10, and the metal ones as well, the metal gearboxes. So for springs for nylon housings, you can put M90 in, M100. Look, M110, you can have it, it can work, but I'd be very risky and mindful about it because it is a very big spring in something like this. I know nylon is tougher, but I'd still be cautious by it. I'd still just be careful by it. Because like our Gen 8 drop boxes that are already done up with metal gears and all that, you just put an M90 in, it does 300 FPS. And that's an M90, that's the smallest spring that we have for Lennox. And the Lennox springs are great too, because these Chinese ones, they twist, they bend, they go all snake-like like that. Big spring problems. But with the Lennox ones, they keep their shape, they keep their size, they do their job. Even if it's compressed all the way up to here, it will still keep its shape and its size, and it'll still be a true whatever it is. Like, this is an M110, it will still be a true M110. It won't change its size, which is fantastic. Yeah, like we just have Gen 8 drop boxes, put an M90 in, that's it, 300 FPS. That's where you want it. You want more? M100. M110, you can, but you don't really need to, really. Like, I mean, if you do all the right compression parts and a fighting bird barrel, which is a Type R barrel, which is very good, I recommend them, or a stainless steel barrel. I know it's a bit more money, but there's a lot better seal and FPS compression. You have that, an M90 or M100, and you're looking at 300s, and you're looking at like high 300s. So like you really don't need an M110, but if you want to, you can, but just be a bit mindful. And the other thing is you know, probably common sense stuff that I was saying in the plastic gearbox housing one, like make sure if you got nylon gears, have a nylon or plastic piston, rack teeth don't have metal, just certain stuff like that. You still have 10 amp switch, silver wiring. If it's a trigger block for a V2, you can have that. We've got Linux ones on them as well. Metal trigger, you can have that, but because it's nylon, you can get better motors. So if you're stock, keep it stock. If you're upgrading it and you keep this stock and you have a metal pinion gear, make sure it's metal, not nylon or plastic, because then it'll just strip it. Yes, you can have the stock motor, and yes, it will work, but its life won't be as long as what it should be, because if you've got an M100 in here and a stock motor and all this upgrades, yes, it'll work, but over time, instead of its life being, you know, 2 years or a year, it'll be a lot less, because it's putting a lot more strain on the motors and the coil and the bushings inside, because it is just pulling this massive spring that's not designed to do and engineered to do. So it's like, wow, I'm doing a lot more work than I should be. So I wouldn't really recommend it, but I mean, if you want it and you try and save some money, it's fine, it will work, don't worry, but its life will be a little bit less than what it should be, because it is doing a lot more work than what is designed to. What I would recommend would be an S460 motor. They're black and red. I definitely would recommend them, because they're a lot better quality and a little bit faster, a little bit more torque, so I can handle a little bit more. And on level up, man, I've done it on Gen 8 saws and they're pumping, they're really good. I don't have Linux 460s. Linux don't do 460 motors, which is a shame, because I would put them in a lot of Gen 8 builds. Linux only do 480 motors at this point in time that we have. So yeah, S460 I'd do. The Chi-Highs, I mean, they're good. Like they're better than what the stock one is, but like the tiniest bit, and they can handle a little bit more and a little bit faster, a little bit better quality, but it's only by little bits. If you really want an upgraded motor, just get an S460. Just do that. But besides that, that's it. Don't have a metal tapper plate. You can have the stock one if you're doing a light spring. If you're doing a really big, like M100 spring, I wouldn't have plastic or nylon, because it will probably break or snap. I've seen it snap around here and break around here. I've even seen that little hook where the return spring goes break off. The ones I would recommend would be a nylon one or the orange unbreakable tapper plate. They are fantastic as well. They're good as well, but I wouldn't recommend the plastic ones if you're going really big springs. But if you're going a light spring, plastic one's fine. Cylinders is really up to you. I mean, you can have ported if you're doing CQB, but a high spring, that's a volume thing. That's a whole another video that I could get into. Or you can just get different designs, cool different designs that you guys like. It's really up to you. But besides that, that is the end of part 2 for nylon housings. That is everything I would and wouldn't recommend. I hope you guys liked and enjoyed. Please leave a like and comment down below, and I'll see you guys in part 3 of 3 of the video. This is Riley from Tactical Edge signing off.